Hello, everyone. Welcome to PlexHacks. We have an amazing set of workshops and guest speaker presentations lined up for you all from today till Friday, and we'll close off this weekend with a hackathon revolving around social justice. If you have any questions for us at any time during this info session, take a look at the bottom of the presentation and go to menti.com and enter that code on your phone. And we will answer these questions at the end of this info session. And with that, let's get started. So this is the amazing team behind both PlexHacks and PlexTech. I'm Pranay Rajpal, co-president of PlexTech, and a fun fact about me is that I've played a game of Knockout with an NBA Hall of Famer and another NBA All-Star.
Hey guys, my name is Akshat. I'm the one sending you all those emails, and my fun fact is that I have a dog named Monty.
Hi, my name is Anish. I'm the Vice President of Operations at PlexTech, and one fun fact about me is that I also have a very cute dog named Coco.
Hey everyone, my name is Elena Vasquez. I'm the Vice President of Marketing, and a fun fact about me is that I'm also on Thrive Dance Company.
Hey, I'm Seafoth. I'm the Vice President of Internal, and a not so fun fact about me is I'm allergic to avocados.
Rithvik, you want to go next?
Hey, I'm Rithvik. I'm the Vice President of External. A fun fact about me is that I'm a theater minor on campus, and to top Seafoth's fun fact, I'm basically allergic to chocolate.
Okay, so that's the organizing team here at PlexHacks. We've put in a lot of hard work throughout the past few weeks to kind of organize all these events. So I just wanted to kind of go over with you like what we have in store. But first, I want to introduce our theme, and I'll let Seafoth talk a little bit more about that.
Yeah, so PlexHacks theme this year is social justice. This year especially because we've been equal economical and right and opportunities. This year, PlexTech especially, we stand with Black Lives Matters, LGBTQ+ rights, climate change, affordable healthcare for all, voting rights, the refugee crisis, and the poverty crisis. There's so many injustices happening in the world today, and we just wanted to make a platform that can bring the word out of what's going on in the world today. That is why we have decided to create our hackathon around the theme of social justice. We are using so many technological platforms to bring awareness of the issues going on in the world today, such as Instagram, Snapchat, and Twitter, and so much more.
Awesome. Thank you, Seafoth, for introducing our theme for us. And we've made special care that all our events throughout this week are revolving around this theme of social justice because we believe that it's an important topic to talk about. So our first guest speaker here today is Shomik Gose. He's going to talk in about an hour about kind of social justice via data. He's a serial entrepreneur. He's started up like 3 companies, took them to IPO, and is now a Silicon Valley VC. He also teaches a course here at Berkeley called Data-Driven Companies. So if you're interested in learning more about his life and his talk here today, you can definitely join him at 7 p.m. And yeah, I'll look forward to seeing you guys there.
All right. Hey guys, sorry I missed the introduction. I'm Shaunak Bandarkar. I'm the curriculum officer, and I'm going to be teaching the data analysis and visualization workshop tonight at 8. So that workshop is going to be about the fundamentals of data analytics and visualization with Python, which is going to be using Pandas, NumPy, and Matplotlib. And we're also going to tailor this around the theme of social justice and include a part about how to find a relevant data set and how to apply this to the theme.
At 9 p.m., we're going to be having a hacker social, which is kind of a fun way to get to know everyone and a great way to meet new people. It's going to be super exciting and super fun, so make sure to come on at 9 p.m.
And then at 6 p.m. on day 2, we start off with the backend microservices workshop. Here you're going to learn more about how to build scalable API. And it's really something you can use towards your hackathon. So if you're really looking forward to kind of building out a scalable solution and something that would kind of make an impact, then definitely check out this workshop at 6 p.m.
Then at 7:30 p.m., we'll be having John De Niro talk about social justice via natural language processing, where he will explain the impact of AI on jobs. For those of you who are new to Berkeley, John De Niro is a CS61A professor, so this would be the perfect opportunity for you to interact with him before. Also, for those of you interested in AI, De Niro is the co-founder and chief scientist of Lilt, an AI-powered enterprise translation software and services company. His insight will be invaluable, so don't miss out.
And at 9 p.m. that same night, we're going to be doing a PlexTech recruiting workshop, which I'll be hosting. And during the workshop, I'll basically be going over everything from our recruiting timeline in the fall to some tips and tricks as to how to best position yourself to succeed in the interview process, as well as some tips and tricks as to how to succeed in the industry in general, whether that's making your resume or whether that's going through the interview process, things like that. So I think that 9 p.m. Workshop's probably a must-have for those who wish to position themselves and kind of get the upper hand on our recruitment process in the fall. I look forward to seeing you at 9 p.m. tomorrow.
All right, and then on Friday, we're starting off with a game dev panel about game development culture and the impact of social good in the gaming industry. So we have three very special panelists with us on Friday. The first one is Milan Brombat, who is an architect at Zynga. Then we have Lisa Huang, who is a corporate strategist at EA. And then lastly, we have John Stimson, who is a senior programmer at Intern Pursuit's game development program. So they're going to be here mainly talking about the social impact that gaming has in the world, and how social justice has been developed into video games and how they kind of correlate with one another. So if you're interested in video games or just in the video game industry, please be sure to come out at 6 p.m. on Friday.
And after that, at 7 p.m., we have our product management panel with PM panelists from Reddit, LinkedIn, Atlassian, and Google. If you're interested in learning about product management, you should definitely come to this panel. We'll be hosting a live Q&A where we'll take your questions, and at the end of the panel, we'll ask them to our panelists itself.
And at 8 p.m. that same day, we're going to be doing a resume review workshop. And so sometime later today or tomorrow, our executive team on Slack and through email, they're going to send you a link basically, and you can sign up for like 5 to 10 minute slots where you can get specific, concrete, tangible advice on how to improve your resume, how to, whether that's to best position yourself in our own PlexTech recruiting process, or professionally in general. So make sure to come out to that. I think it could be a great way for you to not only strengthen your resume, but also build some concrete skills that you can use in the industry in general. So come out at 8 p.m. on Friday for that.
Awesome. So those were all our events for our boot camp. Now our hackathon is kind of structured a little bit weirdly because we have our boot camp first and then our hackathon next. And the reason we do this is so that you can actually learn something from the boot camp that you can apply towards the hackathon. Since we are virtual, we have the ability to do so. So that's why we kind of have that structure. If you have any questions about what this kind of boot camp entails over any of the events we just talked about, make sure to hit up that Menti code down below, or also message the FAQ channel on Slack. And now I'd just like to jump into a little bit about the hackathon logistics. Now, we have a separate meeting for this at 9 p.m. on Friday. The opening ceremony probably will only take like about 20-30 minutes to kind of get you situated for the theme and what you're kind of expected about, and also the submission details. You can see a little bit down there in the additional notes down below. Now, something I want to emphasize for this hackathon is the team. I've had a lot of questions about, what exactly does the team setup look like? And we're imposing a restriction that teams must consist of 2 to 4 people, with more than 51% of hackers being incoming/current Berkeley students. The reason we're doing this is because we want to kind of put an emphasis on Berkeley hackers, but we do realize that people from other schools want to try this out as well. So if you're from another school, feel free to submit a project on DevPost. We will have honorable mentions later on, and we definitely will allow you to participate in any bootcamp event you want to. So there's definitely a lot of opportunities out there for you. Just a little bit about the schedule here. It's a 36-hour hackathon, begins at 10 p.m. on Friday, ends at 10 a.m. on Sunday. And then at 11 a.m., your hackathon submission will be due. Again, more submission details will be on the 9 p.m. Friday hackathon opening ceremony. Cool. Remember, our theme is under coding for social good. So anything that you make should be under this general theme. But again, it doesn't have to. Hackathons are so free that you can basically code anything you want. But it will position yourself better for a finalist position if you kind of follow this theme. And now I'd like to hand it off to Isabella, who's the founder of Intern Pursuit, and have her talk a little bit about what Intern Pursuit is doing for PlexTech this fall.
Isabella, you're unmuted right now.
You're muted right now, Isabella.
So thanks for letting me know. So I want to say thank you for letting me be here. I think you guys should take a screenshot of everybody that's here so you can use it in your social feed. That's pretty cool. Also, I guess I'm going to share a fun fact first because I think it was pretty amusing that you guys did that. I liked it. So my fun fact is also I'm a serial entrepreneur and I have way too many interests. So I have a game. We have a podcast, we have Intern Pursuit, which I'll tell you about in a minute, a game and video production company, a studio, and for serious games, for training and learning, like those type of games. And then we have, I have a consulting firm, and that's where I met Rithvik, and this is how I got to the journey here to be with you guys. So I'm very honored to be here. I know that your school is super amazing, #1 in the country, tied with some other really great schools. So the fact that you're here, you should be really proud of yourselves. Okay, so the thing that I guess I would want you to know about Intern Pursuit is my background is in education. I was a public classroom teacher and I also taught in higher ed. And I saw a real problem that people that were taking internships, they would leave and 60% of them in the country are unpaid. I'm going, how can we make that a better experience so that students leave with real skills? That I'm very passionate on the side of education, to be clear on that one. Also, I have this background that's in training and learning, and that's working with employers. The other problem that I saw is that employers did not know how to really guide and be a good mentor and guide you through that process of being able to get those skills. And I wanted to be able to help them so that they could tap into a superpower, which comes from all of that game stuff. So that's where Intern Pursuit came from, is a desire to solve a two-sided problem between employers and students. And the platform will have this algorithm that matches candidates based on skills, preferences like working remotely or on site, things that are appropriate. And then also on culture fit. It's there to reduce employer bias, so you're not being selected based on what your name is or is not, or what you look like. It should be based on what your skills are. Aside from that, there are personality assessments, a skill assessment that candidates can take to make sure that you're getting matched with a really good employer. And then onboarding documents and a learning academy for the employers. So it's a completely end-to-end automated system. So I hope that you would like to work on this and that you would select to be working with us. And we need some women on the team. So any of the women that want to do that, I'm going to put a little nudge out there for you to join the team or apply to join the team. And I think that's it. Oh, and our game is about students that turn into superheroes and they fight aliens throughout the galaxy like Men in Black and Guardians of the Galaxy. So hopefully you'll see it. It's on Steam. You can actually play the demo, not in a Mac, but you can play it on a PC. So, but it's free demo right now, so you can play the game. And our podcast has expanded to Cornell University and WVBR in New York. Started here in Orlando, Florida, but we've expanded. And so here we are with you guys, you know, the best of the best. So thank you for the opportunity to be with you guys and be the sponsor.
Yeah, thank you so much, Isabella. We really greatly appreciate what Intern Pursuit is doing for us. And so just to clarify to all those listening, Intern Pursuit is one of our clients as well in the fall. And everything that Isabella talked about with the platform, we're going to be building that platform. And so it's a really cool, interesting opportunity. A lot of AI, a lot of ML, tons of opportunity and tons of different, interests and different niches, depending on your interests. So definitely, we're really excited about that project.
Yeah, and now that's all of PlexHacks. Now let's talk to you about the club that's behind all of this, Plex Tech.
So I'd like to kick it off by talking about a little bit about our motivation behind Plex Tech and kind of why we're throwing this hackathon in the first place. And the reason for that is because we put a big presence on enriching the Berkeley software development community. So we have external technical workshops that are open to any Berkeley student, or internal boot camps that are open to our members itself. But we definitely do kind of put a big focus on that. And that's why our club is a little bit different from all the other software consulting clubs out there. For incoming freshmen, there are definitely a lot out there in the Berkeley community, but we feel like we're the ones that enrich you the most. So if you're really looking for a club that kind of puts a unique social presence out there and allows you to network and host like boot camps and stuff like that, check out our recruiting cycle in the fall. I'll hand it over to Shivam now a little bit to talk a little bit more about the curriculum track. And if you're looking to join that track, he's definitely going to talk to you a little bit more details about that.
Hey everyone, I'm Shivam, VP of Curriculum. Sorry, my mic glitched out during the intro. So my fun fact is that I've met Jamie Foxx. So yeah, I guess that's pretty cool. So yeah, talking a little bit about what Akshat just mentioned. So the two main wings of our club are going to be industry and curriculum. So I'll talk to you guys a little bit more about what our plans are for curriculum this fall. So we basically have planned 2 tracks. So as you can see, machine learning and data science is one, and the other is full stack web development. And our curriculum team has been really hard at work in sort of developing these lesson plans and activities for you guys to ensure that you guys really hone in on your industry skills and can go on to use these in the future, whether it's, through our industry projects or, future internships or full-time jobs. Another thing that we really wanted to emphasize was aligning the stuff that we're teaching with the industry project technical specs we've been given. So we really put an emphasis on that while keeping the curriculum itself open-ended enough so you guys get to explore the subject itself in a more broader sense. So we really try to balance those 2 things out. So that's about it for curriculum. I'll hand it off to Ritvik for industry.
Yeah, thanks so much, Shivam. As Shivam mentioned, Plex Tech, we have 2 tracks, curriculum and industry. So as a software consulting club at Cal, we like to complement our curriculum program with our industry program, which allows students to kind of enrich themselves and advance their technical skills by working on real life hands-on problems and with clients each semester. So in the fall, we have 3 different clients, and we selected them with a ton of different things in mind. This semester, we had a lot of interest from a lot of different companies, but we chose these 3 because we really liked the company's visions and the different skills and backgrounds of the company. So we have some really great projects for you guys in the fall. A little bit about what the industry kind of track does is each semester we're going to have a couple projects, and we're going to have 2 project managers and a team of 6 to 8 developers per project to work on the projects for our clients. Each semester we're going to have different clients and different projects, which will involve different technical skills. And so even if you don't see some of your your own skills that you have right now, definitely you'll get the opportunity through curriculum and through our internal training programs and through hands-on work with each of our projects. You'll get to learn more skills. You'll get to develop your resumes. You'll get to fleshing out your professional experience. And so it'll be a really, really rewarding experience to you guys. And in future semesters, there'll definitely be projects we promise that you'll be interested in. Every single project, we put tons of effort into selecting clients that we think our members will be really interested in. And so we're really excited about that. So I'll hand it off to Anish, our VP of Operations, to talk a little bit about the process that we kind of put to selecting our clients in the fall and what kind of things you might gain out of the projects.
Yeah, thanks, Rith. So as Rithik mentioned earlier, our companies that we've chosen, our projects that we've chosen are allowing you to show up and learn a huge variety of skills. So what we have right now is we have 3 companies of Intern Pursuit, and Perimeter, and Aila Health. So these 3 companies will allow you to really develop your skills, and each project specializes in a different and varied type of coding. So you can learn, so you can try to show off and practice your skills for real in the real world. So I'm going to pass it over to Noah, who is the CTO of Perimeter. So he can talk more about his own project and what they're going to be offering for PlexTech.
Thank you. Hi, I hope everyone can hear me. If not, let me know. But yeah, so my name is Noah. I'm the CTO and co-founder of Perimeter. Perimeter is a platform for real-time data visualization and collaboration for public safety. Currently, we're kind of focusing on tackling the California wildfire. We're providing our tools to public safety agencies, such as fire departments, so they can kind of communicate and collaborate on information throughout an incident in real time, and also better get some of the evacuation information to the hands of citizens. So, we're really, obviously really proud and excited about our project. And then, interesting story, my co-founder and I actually met at Cal, and the majority of our current small team are all Cal grads. So go Bears. Yeah, so we're very excited to be working with PlexTech through the fall semester. What we're going to be working on, the project is going to be a kind of data visualization dashboard for analytics. So when we're providing our tool to our customers, there are going to be a lot of data that come up through usage, through different incidents. And I would say the data science component is very underemphasized in the space of public safety or government tech. So, we really want to build out this kind of additional tool, this dashboard, so that our users can better understand the data or information that they collect through using our platform during incidents. So, really, really cool project. And when we're coming up with this structure, the work scope of this project, we're working with PlexTech to think of what is the right project that is, interesting, but more importantly, have an emphasis on giving the participants, the students, the chance to learn real life skills. And this is what we came up with. And, I think there are a couple huge components to it that are really relevant to practical real world skills. So one of them is full stack web development. That's something that is seen throughout the majority of startups out there. Also, data processing is something that we'll be doing. Obviously, we'll be dealing with data. A lot of you could have could be interested in data science, could have had experience with data science at Cal or different places. But I would say, like with my experience in college, a lot of courses are really good ways to get you to learn the fundamentals. But in real life, when you come to a real problem, it's very, very different. You're looking at the raw data. You're thinking about exactly how to clean it, what exactly the application is. There's very little defined guidelines or requirements for you to work on. So, I'm really excited about how PlexTech is structuring this. You're going to have a large or this medium-sized team. You're going to have PMs within the team. So you got to figure out the requirements with your clients and things like that. So that's super exciting. Yeah, so these are all just kind of an overview on the project and why we're excited to work with PlexTech, and I kind of like rambled on a little bit, but overall, I just want to say that I'm super excited about everyone who's attending this hackathon and who's potentially going to be working on projects with different PlexHacks clients and potentially us. I think like some of my best experiences out of college are when I put myself out there to really learn skills and also meet people and build connections, work within the team and things like that. So just really excited to be able to bring that like learning opportunity to everyone who's going to be working on the project. And, I'm sure we'll be learning from everyone participating as well. So anyway, that's it. Thank you, and go Bears.
Go Bears. Thank you so much, Noah. So now we're going to be handing off to Rory to explain a little bit about our third project for the fall with Aila Health. So you could take it from here, Rory.
Awesome. Thanks so much. I don't know if my video's on. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the hackathon. Really excited for you guys to be able to participate this weekend and hopefully work with some of you this fall. We've been working with the PlexTech team to kind of develop our project for the fall semester. So a little background about us. I'm the founder and CEO of Aila Health. We're a precision health platform, and we're trying to bring personalized care to each and every patient. And we're doing that through a number of ways, through a digital mobile health application, but also a web application that interfaces on the clinical side. And so folks that join us this semester will be able to work on adapting our iOS application into an Android application, mobile application, as well as helping us build out our web interface for the clinical side. And so a few of the things we're looking for in team members as part of this project is, again, strong kind of data wrangling experience. So folks with data science background, Android engineers, iOS engineers as well to help continue development on our current product, and full stack web engineers. So front end, back end, and if people have interest in UX or UI, that's certainly welcome as well. So yeah, we're really looking forward to working with the team. I just graduated from UC Berkeley's MBA program, so definitely in the Berkeley family. And we were in residence at Skydeck, but we'll see what happens with everything right now in the world, but looking forward to kind of building our team no matter where you guys are. So really excited. Thanks.
Cool. Thank you so much, Rory. So with that, those are our projects for the fall semester. We're really excited to work on them. And that kind of brings me to kind of like our recruiting period and our recruiting timeline, because that's really important to get you guys in as developers so you guys can work on these really cool projects. So talking about that, it starts with our online application, which opens on August 15th. And basically what that's going to allow us to kind of assess is, we're going to ask for your resume. We're going to kind of get a little bit of a backstory as to like what your technical skills are, as well as we might ask some questions about, some personal insight questions or something, just to get to know you guys a little bit better and your skills and your background and kind of who you are. We want this to be a generally like a holistic process. We've been, in the same kind of like shoes as you. So we really try our best to give you guys the opportunity to shine and to kind of show your strengths and even your weaknesses. We accept people's weaknesses, and we really like people to be cognizant of them. So, just use that opportunity to kind of showcase who you are and what you've done, and why you'd be a great member at PlexTech. So those who move on from the online application will kind of get an offer for a coffee chat, and that's intended to be more of an informal kind of chat between you and one or two PlexTech executive members. And basically, it's two-way. So we get to learn more about who you are, what you're interested in, what you do for fun, like what some of your strengths are, what some of your weaknesses are, as well as like what some projects you might have worked on in the past might have been, what technical skills you use. So definitely leverage that opportunity to kind of like showcase your strengths and who you are, and kind of like why you stand out. But it's also at the same time an opportunity for you to ask us questions. Who are we as a club? Kind of like what's our culture? What do we stand for? Kind of figure out by talking to us, are we the right club for you? And I'd say that we, like Akshat was mentioning earlier, we definitely like stand out from other clubs in the sense that like our whole mission is to enrich the Berkeley community and to educate people. And so like that's our main focus. Consulting is like the way we do that, but we have that said, we have a great focus on education and learning people and growing together. And so like definitely learn more about PlexTech. Drop a question through Menti, or like if you make it to the coffee chats, definitely learn about us and give us an opportunity to learn about you. So that's my tangent for the coffee chats. Those who move past the coffee chats will qualify for the interview round, and basically that involves a 30-minute behavioral segment as well as a 30-minute technical segment. The behavioral segment is basically a chance for us to learn more about why you want to be a member at PlexTech. So definitely the fact that you guys are here makes a big difference, because you have a little bit of an edge as to who we are as an organization. Definitely look at our website. I mean, it's pretty like plain and clear like who we are and what we stand for. So we're going to be asking you some questions behaviorally. That's obviously like a non-technical component. The other 30 minutes is like a technical component, so we can kind of learn what your qualifications are, and whether or not you might be ready to tackle some of the projects that we have in the fall. But like we always have a lot of opportunities for you guys. We have a lot of roles, like we mentioned. We have 2 tracks. So the general recruiting process is around the same, but we have an industry track where you can work on these projects that we named for you guys already. You can apply as a developer for that, but you can also apply as like a project manager if you think that you have the skills and experience and leadership qualities to take on that kind of leadership role. Additionally, you can apply to be a curriculum officer or like a teaching assistant to develop the curriculum. Now, Shivam already mentioned kind of like what our curriculum focus is going to be for this semester. So you'd be working on that, as well as like developing new curricula for future semesters, as well as like hosting the internal boot camps, things like that. So definitely a great opportunity to get involved, and look out for those applications later this month. That said, this is only like maybe my like 2-minute like spiel or 5 minutes spiel, whatever it is, about the recruiting process. If you want to learn more about how to set yourself apart and kind of like how to stand out in this whole recruiting process, or if you have any other questions, definitely come out to my recruiting workshop tomorrow at 9 p.m. It's right after Dinero's presentation. So if you're there for that, stick on for the workshop and you'll definitely learn a lot. So that's my spiel for recruiting.
Sure. Thank you so much, Rithvik. And as Rithvik mentioned, we do have a recruiting workshop later in the week, so make sure to turn up for that. And now I'll turn it over to Sifath, who's going to talk a little bit more about kind of the fun stuff we do over here at PlexTech, because not everything is just professional.
Okay, as for the fun stuff, we're planning to, so because of COVID, everything's going to be online this year. But once COVID ends and everything's back to normal, hopefully we'll have more like, there'll be like retreats, an event where when you're into the club, we'll have like a whole welcome night and a lot of weekly events within in person. But as for now, it's still going to be really fun. We're going to have a lot of great time together. we're gonna have movie nights, so we can all like go on Zoom or Netflix party and watch movies all together, and eat popcorn, and just have a great time with that. And within the club itself, we're gonna have a structure of like a big little or like a mentor mentee kind of thing, where all of us on the board of Plex Tech is gonna be like your mentor or your big. So if you have any questions about Plex Tech or just life or any advice in general, we want to be there for you and support you throughout your time at Berkeley and just to build a great relationship with each other. And then there'll be like happy hour, and you can kind of take that to your own interpretation. But we're going to have having events such as like Fanta Friday and Watermelon Wednesday to really get to know each other more better and as a club, and to really build that like connection with each other and make that dynamic together. And we're going to be having coffee chats with one another over Zoom, so we can get to know each other one-on-one and really build that close bond. And then I think the funnest part through this whole semester is going to be game nights. So we're going to be playing Jackbox and Scrabble and any virtual games we're really going to find. So it's definitely going to be really, really fun. It's not going to be all about work. We'll have a lot of fun time together, and you'll have like a bond with every Plex Tech member.
Thank you, Sifath. So yeah, that was great. And I think as you can see over basically all of our Plex Tech recruitment process is that we put a lot of focus on both our social aspect and our professional aspect, because at the end of the day, the point of a club is to kind of make friends within your community. So that's definitely something we're placing an emphasis on. So that's it for our presentation here today. I'll hand it over to Anish to answer your mentee questions. So if you guys come up with any questions right now, make sure to put them on the mentee ASAP, because Anish is going to go through them. Anish, and I think Shaunak too. Do you want to kick it off?
Yeah, I can get started with the first questions that we got. So this one actually is a question for you, Akshay. It's concerning the backend microservices workshop. So someone was wondering, does the backend microservices workshop actually cover how to package and expose APIs, like the basics? So it's like clarifying question, just answer that. Yeah.
Good question. Yeah, of course. It's definitely going to do that. It will teach you how to build up an API in Fast API, which is a Python microservice framework. You might not have heard of it before, but it's basically 300% faster than Flask and Django. So that's like pretty cool. And I'm going to teach you how to basically interact with the database. I think we're going to be using MySQL. And we'll teach you how to expose all the routes, make it scalable so that no unauthorized person will touch your routes with the power of cores. And we'll also be using a testing utility called Postman. So as you can see, there's a lot of stuff we have to cover, and only an hour and a half to do it. So we'll try to do the best we can, but if we don't cover everything, there will be a slides link that we'll provide you and everything like that to kind of make up for that. And right after that, we have another technical workshop by Professor De Niro. So yeah, it's a big technical day that day. To whoever answered that question, I hope that kind of covered what you were asking about. Okay, and it looks like it did. So Anish, you want to go to the next one?
I can take the next one.
Yeah, take the next one.
Right. So somebody asked, how do we sign up for the resume review time slots?
Yeah, I can take that. So our executive team, just look out on your email and on the Slack channel. Our executive team is going to be sending out like a link, as well as like kind of like the details of like how that's going to work. It's going to be pretty simple. Just like basically you'll basically kind of receive a link, and you can kind of like book like slots with us. And I think it's going to be like it's going to be a super like cool thing, because like you'll get like one-on-one time with one of us. So like that'll definitely help for like recruiting or like in general. And definitely tell like your friends about that. Even if they're not here today or they're not registered, they could always sign up. Yeah, I think it's going to be super cool.
All right. Hope that answers your question. And so let's move on to the next one. There's a couple more recruitment questions, so Rick, you might have to answer a couple more. But yeah, so one question that someone has, and I think this is a pretty important question that a good amount of people might have, is how do participants actually make use of the priority status when applying for PlexTech? Because, you know, as we advertised, the hackathon will provide you some sort of priority for the application process. So, Ruth, you want to take that?
Yeah. Now, like the way I understand that, like that question is essentially like kind of like how that plays into like our own evaluative process as an executive team, and like kind of like assessing your applications. So like if that's not the question you're asking, then go ahead and like ask another question in Menti, and then I'll be able to answer that. But like kind of like answering the role the priority status plays in our evaluation process. So like that answer is kind of like twofold. The first is like the fact that kind of like we have the fact that you attended the hackathon. So like we definitely don't want to like kind of like exclude anyone for not participating in the hackathon. So it can't kind of hurt you, but it can only help you. And so like and that kind of leads me to my second point. And the second point is that we have a lot of different kind of like workshops and socials and like different things like that and Q&As where you can actually interact and get to know our executive team members a little bit more. So like tonight we have our hackers social, and there is going to be like an actual just kind of like laid back fun time with our executive team members. So like the better we know you and kind of like the more opportunities you give us to kind of like know like about you and who you are and stuff like that, like and kind of like inevitably kind of that kind of allows us to have a better picture of you in the application. So like basically kind of like, I know that's a little bit of a tangent, but my basic answer to you is that it's kind of hard for us to like reveal our evaluation process right now. But like we said, the priority status does give you priority, but it can only help you. It doesn't hurt those people who kind of don't come to this, just because like we kind of like want to be welcoming to everyone, and we don't want to like exclude anyone just for not coming. So it'll only help you. But like the details of like how it will help you is kind of stuff we can't really reveal, because that's just the way our own like recruiting process works. But definitely use all these networking opportunities to your advantage. And we're going to have some more info sessions and like other networking events like later on in this month. So keep your like eyes and ears peeled for that. So like this will all only help you. So I don't know if that answered your question. If it didn't, definitely like drop another Menti question and I'll get to that.
Yeah, and I'd just like to add to that. I think the person who asked that was addressing more about the logistics, I think. So in case you weren't, I guess that's okay. But like, in case you were, you don't have to really do anything in your application. We know that you attended the hackathon and how many Zoom meetings you attended, because I mean, we are a tech consulting club, so we have a script running in the background to like collect all of your participant logs, and we keep a track of how active you are in the both the hackathon and how many boot camps you attend. So basically, you know, the more active you are, definitely the further you'll stand out in our application process. And just as Rithvik said, the more you interact with us, the more we'll notice your name in our spreadsheet and be like, hey, I know that person. You know, he talked to me. He was pretty cool. So definitely, I hope that answers your question. If not, just submit another Menti question.
Yeah, I really want to like emphasize the fact that like although we are keeping track of like, you know, how active you are in the hackathon and everything, like we really like don't want to exclude anyone just for like not participating. So just take advantage of the opportunities that are given. That's basically just like, it can only help you in a positive light. Yeah. And we'll also obviously like what's more important than like being active in the hackathon is actually like coming to our like networking events and our info sessions, and also kind of like showing, you know, your strengths in the actual application process. So that's all we'll say about that. But thanks for that question. Really great question.
All right. The next question is, what are the requirements to join the curriculum stream? So I can answer a bit of that. So we're mainly like, we would prefer like some basic CS experience, such as CS61A at Berkeley. But what we're mostly looking for is a willingness to learn, and basically somebody, even though it's just for curriculum for this semester, we're still looking for somebody who will have a continued involvement with the club and will continue and be dedicated to like initially the curriculum stream, but to the club as a whole. I think, Shivam, is there anything else you can say about that?
No, that's about it. I mean, we're just looking for people who are, very curious and passionate about tech, and really passionate about, teaching people and sort of, creating content. So those are sort of things that we're looking for in the curriculum. So if you feel any of those criteria matches you, then, be sure to apply.
All right. And I see one more question over here about, there's 2 questions regarding technical experience. So they're asking about, do you have to have lots of technical experience to be a part of PlexTech? And as we've already mentioned before during the whole recruiting process and all that, is that no, that technical experience is important for if you want to be something like a PM or like a project manager or like an officer, obviously. But like if you want to join the curriculum, as Shivam mentioned, it's just a willingness to learn. And if you want to become a developer, you will have to have experience, obviously. But what is, in my opinion, more important is your team, your ability to work on a team and be able to work with your project manager, as well as the skills to be able to back up your teamwork. So the technical experience is just a way to show that you can work in a team.
Yeah, and kind of to add on that, I'm gonna I'm gonna talk about this in my recruiting workshop, but like the straight answer is like no. Like you don't need it's like technical experience isn't like required for you to come in the club. I'm not a CS major. I'm business and econ. Anish is chemi. Like we all have like various interests. Like our executive team itself isn't full of people with like a ton of technical experience. It's all about your passion and about like kind of like your willingness to learn. So like if your curriculum, for example, and you come in, we definitely don't expect you to like be a master at like coding or whatever. Like when you come in, that's our purpose actually is the opposite. We want to kind of guide you and teach you and nurture you and kind of like grow together. And so like if you don't have any technical experience, you definitely still apply. And even if you're not like a CS major or anything like that, like I said, I'm an econ major. And so like definitely still apply because there are a lot of projects that involve your skills. Like we'll have data science projects. We'll have projects that involve a ton of different skills. So like Anish said, your ability to work as a team is kind of more important to us and kind of like your passion for learning. And so like you can always join curriculum and kind of like work your way into industry. So you can be part of the club as a curriculum member, and as you grow your skills and you get better and better. And like I'm gonna tell you, like Shivam and Shanik have a great curriculum program like design. Like so you'll definitely be on the way up really quickly, and you can actually like kind of like join the industry track internally as opposed to having kind of like applying to the industry track separately. So that's one of the advantages of applying to curriculum. You're already in the club and you just have to work your way up. That said, if you do have a lot of technical experience, then you can apply straight into industry. And even if you don't, still apply to industry because like I said, and Anish said, team working skills are kind of more important to us because we definitely don't expect everyone to come in with a boatload of technical skills. And, like I said, we appreciate everyone and we appreciate like diversity kind of more in our applicants. We want to emphasize like diversity and inclusion. So that's kind of like one of our values. That's kind of my, kind of like a long-winded answer. Just saying, no, you don't have to have prior technical experience. It's really important to us that actually we communicate to people that you don't have to have a ton of technical experience to come into this club.
Okay. All right. So Shanik, on to the next question. Okay, never mind, I'll take it anyways. So I see one more question here about if we miss a workshop or a guest speaker talk, will we have access to the recorded lectures? Yes, the answer to that is yes. It'll all be on the website, and we'll post about it in the Slack again just to make sure if anyone missed those, then they can just access those later. And
I saw one question about the social stuff and the big little component. So like I'll hand it off. So basically the question is like, how does the big little system work, and do you guys like have any kind of like name for like how how that system works, or just basically like Sifat, can you kind of like tell that person who asked the question a little bit more about how that works?
Yeah, sure. So the big little system, how it's gonna work. So you're gonna be known kind of as like a plexer, plexi kind of thing for now. So that's how it's gonna work. So we're gonna be the plexers, and then the people that join in, they're gonna be known as the plexis. It's really exciting. It's gonna be super funny and super fun. That's just how it's gonna work. So it's kind of like a brother sibling kind of relationship at that moment.
Yeah, it's a kind of like an inside joke in our executive team. So yeah.
All right,
Yeah,
so I
well-
think that concludes all the questions here today. One thing I do want to plug is that we have a talk by Shomikose, like literally right now. So I'm going to send the link in the chat. If you're interested, definitely do come. He's the professor over here at Berkeley as well, just like De Niro. He teaches a little bit more of an advanced class about data-driven applications in industry. And he will talk a little bit more about that in the talk, but kind of more related to social justice. So that will be a little bit more, I guess, technical and businessy, and a little less, you know, informational kind of logistics thing that we did here today. But yeah, I hope you guys had a great time and it was informational. And I'll end the meeting here. Bye, guys.
Just one note. If you guys had, we see like more questions coming in. If you guys would like, please like ask those questions on our Slack channel. Our executive team can respond without having to relay show midst meeting.
Definitely. Yeah. Hit up the FAQ channel. Yeah. And also team formation channel is a big one. So yeah. Thanks, guys.
All right. Thanks, everyone.